change your name could possibly change your life. It changed my life. And what I'm going to talk about is my journey through changing my name and why you might want to change your name. You might not, you know, it's up to you. Only you could tell, no, it's only your choice. But my name used to be Gershom Hildreth, and my new name now is Gershom Hildreth. Right? What's the difference? For me, it was just the spelling. And I'll go into that a little bit later. So the first thing I want to say about your name is that your name is your description. It's your self-label. It's your title, you know. And if your name is stupid, that's your title, and that creates a connotation, a feeling within you, consciously or subconsciously. Most of the time, no one has a name named stupid, you know. But it could be something that you just don't like, you know. So realize that first, that it is your label. Every time you're writing your first name, your last name, any middle names, even if you write it or you don't, it's your label. It's your self-label. And your label, hopefully, is something that you love because, you know, you want to love yourself. You know, it's just like a tattoo. If you have a tattoo that says retarded or something like that, you know, that's kind of like branding yourself, you know. And it's the same thing with the name. You're branding yourself. So, changing your name, if you don't love your name, and I'm not talking about just like how it sounds, I'm also talking, or the meaning of it, but it's everything. It's the meaning of it, the sound of it, the look of it, you know. For me, I was fine with the sound, you know. I had it with an I, Hildreth with an I, and when I started to work on a lot of my issues, a lot of them were ancestral in nature. A lot of my ancestors had a lot of issues, and I didn't feel right with it. I just didn't love my name. I didn't like it, you know, and that made me not like myself, my last name. And so what I did was I changed it legally. But prior to that, for 10 years, I had gotten a few different spiritual people, psychics, whatever, suggest that I should change my name. And one lady even suggested I just need to change it by one letter and that'll be fine. And she didn't necessarily say what name, you know. People aren't perfect. They don't, even psychics, they don't know everything. But a lot of them are frauds. But you don't really need a psychic to tell you that. You could just, you know, tell yourself. And so when I hit 30 years old, I found a spelling, an alternate spelling of my last name with a Y instead of an I, and I fell in love with it. And I waited about a year before I changed it, because you want to make sure that your ego isn't getting involved. Okay. What do I mean by ego getting involved? Your ego might want to say, like, I want my name to make me better than who I am, and that's not the you're already perfect. Your soul, your personality, all that is perfect. You might not realize that. You might be clouded with all this bad food, drugs, or spirit, or emotional issues and all that, or whatever. But it is at its heart perfect. And you don't want the ego to come in there and say, well, I want to be named this and this and this. That's so cool and that's so awesome and I'll be awesome. That's not true. You won't be awesome. Okay? You're already awesome. But you're going to have a name that's not right for you. So you got to have a name that you love, like your family. You know, like you just love it. It's a quiet, loving feeling. It's not like out there. You're not changing your name for other people in a weird way. You're not trying to tell the world, this is who I am. This is who I am. I met a guy that his first name was Love. He changed it to Love. And it was just weird to me. It's like he's trying to be Love, so he changes his name Love. You're not doing that. You're trying to be who you are, really. You know, you're not trying to be something else. Yes, love is, we all want to be loved and love people, but that's not for your title. You know, that's an action. Love is an action. It's not anything else. You know, it's a state, it's a being, it's an action. So it could change your life, because when I was 30, I was stuck in all these issues, and I finally changed it legally. And that very day, I knew how to work on my issues. If you see some of my previous videos, I'll post them in the link. You know, it's about like crying and feeling out your issues and all that, and it's vibrations and changing them out. I kind of knew, because I had experiences throughout my life of doing that, and I kind of got it, but I never really pieced it together. And I went in there and I changed my name at the court, and then I went the final day when you actually get the paper that says your new name is that, I felt like I had handcuffs on me, and they just released. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to do this for myself. And for 3 years, I was really growing a lot. After that, I added a middle name because I wanted to represent my mom's side of the family, so I added her maiden name. And I felt kind of stuck for about a couple years, and I had to get rid of it. And now I'm back to I love it now again. You know, I didn't really love that. It was more for other people, and you're not supposed to do that. So now I'm starting to make strides again, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, you know, everything. So make sure you like your name, you know, or you love it. Like, and it's not for other people. It's not for, you know, showing. It's not like it's your label, but it's not like a label that you know, like, I'm going to be awesome and tell people that my name's awesome, and you show people. Don't do that. It's the ego getting involved. And that's why I say live with it for a year. Because if you still like it after a year, you're going to like it. Because I've like with my middle name, I sat with that for about 5-6 months, and then I finally changed it. And then I didn't really like it after a while, you know. So love starts with your name. Your self-love, your self-growth, your spiritual growth. You might not need to change your name. You might need to change your first name, your last name. You might like the sound of one of those names, but not the spelling. Or you might like the spelling, but not the sound. I don't know how that would be, but or you might not like the meaning. You know, my Gershom means stranger from a strange land, or someone who's in exile, because it's Moses the prophet's first son, if you look in the Bible. And he was in exile for 40 years, met his wife, girlfriend, or whatever, first wife, Zipporah, and then he had Gershom. He said, well, I was in exile for 40 years, that's why I'm going to name him Gershom, you know. And do I feel like that? No, I mean, I feel like I've been on a journey and I've been learning a lot. Like, that's my plot in life, but I like it. I'm fine with it, you know. The meaning is, it feels fine for me. So think about all that. And if you want to change your name, it could possibly change your life.